Representative Greiner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon. I'm over here to your right. So
Looking for it.
That's okay. Well, you're having a glass of water there, too. My question is going to be pretty straightforward and simple. I will say it's great having you here today, and it's great to get an education about what you're doing and the different things that you're reviewing in the fraud, abuse, and misconduct. And glad to hear that Act 29 is helpful because I think it makes a difference statewide. I'm going to go to the issue that's kind of on a lot of people's minds here in this Capitol and even throughout the Commonwealth, and it's sexual misconduct, harassment, those type of issues. And you know, we've had a lot of questions at these hearings about them. Could your office be asked to review situations such as that? Is it within the parameters of the current law that you could get involved in something like that? Because you know, we talk about what's occurring and the payouts and everything involving that. Just was curious.
It's a great question. I would say this, structurally speaking, if it's outside of the executive branch of state government, we have not traditionally waded into those waters because of the charge, either under the executive order or how Act 29 is drafted. If it's an executive branch situation and something along the lines of which you've described has occurred, historically speaking, that is something that has been investigated by the EEO section of the Office of Administration. It's not that we couldn't be asked to look. I'm not aware of any structural barrier on the executive branch side of things, but I could tell you this. I mean, we have a number of what I believe to be the best investigators in the state, and especially for looking at very difficult situations like you've just described. But we have not typically been involved in sexual harassment or other types of allegations outside of the executive branch, because jurisdictionally there's been an issue. Inside the executive branch, because that's been a function traditionally handled by the Office of Administration.
Well, I appreciate the answer because like I said, we're up here and we're trying to figure out, you know, the payouts, and you know, we have policies in effect that I think that we diligently try to abide by. I really do believe that, but yet things have happened, and it's not just not the government. It happens in the private workplace too, and I think people have to understand that you know, it's not unique just to what's going on up here, and so it's possible that, you know, moving forward, and I just wanted to get an understanding who, as we think through this, who can maybe investigate some of this in an independent fashion, that we get the facts out in the appropriate way as they should be.
I can tell you this, that this is an issue of such enormous importance and concern that I would be willing to have a conversation with any member of this body. I know Representative Kim, it's been a real passionate issue of yours and others, and we'd be happy to have a discussion about how the Inspector General's office can assist or further shed light on either the problems that may be occurring or getting at specific investigations.
I appreciate that very much. Appreciate your testimony, and I thank you for your time. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much.